Yep, this is Wenders, and you see some of the deleted scenes that didn't make it into the cut of American Friend. This is the summer of 1976. The character of Dervot that Nick Ray is playing in the film wasn't in the script, and the two of us wrote it in. It's actually from a previous Ripley novel. And one of the improvised scenes we did in between was Nick painting one of his own paintings over in black. At one point I thought we might do some credits over this, but we never used it. The sound for this scene got lost too. Nick was humming a song by Woody Guthrie. The image remained. I liked the shot. Nick painting a big eye into it at the very end. A black eye. This is from the very first day of shooting. The little guy, realizing that nobody's left in the house, was also not used. In the present cut, we see his parents come back home, and his father, Zimmerman, realizes that he's just pretending to be asleep. These scenes were preceding that one. Yeah, I seem to have trouble with this slate there. That's myself. We were in New York with a very tiny unit. This, of course, is the opening shot, and the credits were over this.
Die hatte deine Stimme.
Jonathan's wife had a profession in the original script. She was dubbing American movies. Sitting in a movie theater, and Bruno discovers that the actress has his wife's voice. Yeah, this is just a little guy sneaking back into his bed when he hears that his parents are coming home. Right now, the next cut was in the film. This is the entire crew. There's Robbie, the cameraman, with myself next to him. That's me hanging out of the door. These were just tiny little leftovers. This was a beautiful location. The frame store there is really an old hat maker's store, which is still there. At the time, it looked like the entire block was going to be torn down, but they kept this building here. Zimmerman's routine as he's coming into his store. That's from his very first time that we see him in the store. I didn't use this one. Yeah, the King's album you see there was the very first LP I bought. I think I was 18 years old.
Okay.
There you see me. I was sporting a mustache at the time. This is the shot when they're walking under the bridge. I don't know why this camera is following me. It must be part of the EPK or something. You see Robbie behind the camera and Martin Müller, my sound engineer. The building there on the left is where Last Tango in Paris took place in. In the original script, Ripley had a housekeeper. We eliminated her altogether from the film.
Bringen Sie einen Tee.
With milk and sugar?
Want a coffee? Tom, you better think about it.
You know, don't try to push me into anything.
Seemed better that he was living alone in his house than with a housekeeper.
Can I bring the paint, Sensei?
Have them painted black. And him too.
Dennis made up a lot of his lines. Yeah, one day there was suddenly snow early in the morning in front of our lovely house here, right by the harbor. Very industrial area. Looks so different now there. These are leftovers from the scene where Zimmerman has his first attack when he's standing on the balcony of the house.
Jetzt bitte konzentrieren.
214, die dritte.
This is, by the way, in the shadow there, Peter Przygoda, my editor. And Harry Baer and Lisa Kreutzer doing their dubbing work. As I said, Lisa had a profession in the film. She was looping movies.
Bisschen breiter,
Dann
bitte.
muss die Blonde
Bisschen
doch
breiter,
anders sein
bitte.
als die im Swimmingpool, sag mal.
240, die vierte.
Hier, nimm. Du siehst zum Anbeißen aus.
Falsch!
Mir langt's. Dies nachzusprechen ist einfach beschissen. Ich glaube, ich gehe nach Haus.
Du hast recht, Marianne. Davon bekommt man nur Komplexe.
Das ist wirklich der beste Dialog von heute, Herr Schüwaller.
Guck ich schnell ans Tisch.
This is Peter, my editor. Peter edited all my films at the time, including American Friend.
Keine andere. Ich kann keine andere.
We shot relatively economically for American Friend. I had 6 weeks of shooting, which is a tight schedule. So altogether, most of what we shot made it into the cut. Every now and then we decided not to cut back and forth, like between the apartment, between Marianne and the boy, to the action of Jonathan in Paris or in the train. And we took out the entire chain of scenes involving Marianne in her job as an actress, her unhappy occupation, looping movies, and her efforts to try to find something else to do as an actress in the theater. We left it all out in the end because the film was long enough as it was, 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes almost. But altogether, I mean, if I look at these deleted scenes, I must say we did shoot pretty economically, and we didn't have much choices. I mean, 6 weeks, you cannot produce all that much that is not going to get into your cut. This is a rough cut of a scene that was eliminated. We see them come out of the door in the film, but the moment before here was left out. We see Bruno appear on the balcony in the film a little later, and the little guy looking up to his father.
Ja, Herr Gantner. Hello. Hello. Yes, Germany. Yes, I can you understand quite well. Oh, Mr. Winter. From where are you calling?
It's part of the intrigue. The arts cam in the background. We felt we didn't need it, and some of that arts cam was self-explanatory anyway.
Dann kann ich das natürlich auch noch von einem anderen Sachverständigen, den Derwatt noch einmal prüfen lassen. Yes.
In the script, I thought it was important that Marianne would sort of overhear some of the doubts concerning the Derwatt paintings. And that it was important for her to understand a little bit what was going on in the background.
Where are you? Ich will dich schnell was fragen. Wegen dem Telegramm. The telegram you sent to Jonathan. From the airport.
She always had a suspicion that the telegram was phony. And in the scene here, there's the confirmation that Winter didn't really send it.
Da muss es ein Missverständnis sein. Yes, a misunderstanding. Bye-bye, Ellen. Have a good time.
Was sind für ein Telegramm? Was hat Ihr Mann Ihnen denn eingeredet? Was ist denn plötzlich los mit dem Derwatt?
Das hat doch nichts mit dem Bild zu tun. Du hast ja gar nicht eingekauft.
Kannst nicht schlafen. Hast geträumt?
Also, this scene with the little boy joining his parents in bed was cut out. We had a moment of Bruno reading in bed, but the continuation of the little boy joining him was not in the film. This is more on Marianne's background as an actress. The scene was taking place while Zimmerman was in Paris.
Es ist noch alles wie sonst. Die Häuser, die Gassen,
It was an audition.
der Wind geht. Und die Wolken ziehen. Wir müssen es wohl leiden. Was?
Ja, schön. Wären Sie denn frei? Hätten Sie Zeit?
Ab wann?
So 3 Wochen würden die Proben beginnen und bräuchten Sie dann so auf ein halbes Jahr.
Ich glaube, das kann ich mir schon einrichten.
Hier noch mal das Buch. Das ist Marie-Louise Fleißer, Pioniere in Ingolstadt. Und schauen Sie mal die Alma an.
The play she's doing there has been turned into a film by Fassbinder in the early 70s. It's a play by Marie-Louise Fleißer, a Bavarian writer. Red was a crucial color in the course of the film, and we associated it a lot with Ripley and the menace that he represents for Zimmerman.
Das ist die Fremdheit.
That scene was from the hotel room in Munich.
£3,000. It's ridiculous.
I don't have the money in cash.
Es kommt gleich. Okay? Es kommt gleich. Das Gold. Okay.
So, jetzt ist Schluss, jetzt wird Licht ausgemacht.
That was also to intercut with Paris. The little scene with Zimmerman and Minot before in Paris, and this one were both cut.
In Frankreich. Glaube ich dir nicht. Dummkopf. Das stimmt aber, Dummkopf. Stimmt ihm nicht. Stimmt ihm doch. Nein, doch, nein, doch, nein, doch, nein, doch. Stimmt ihm nicht. Stimmt ihm doch. Stimmt ihm nicht. Blöd, Mann. Blöd, Mann.
This is an outtake of Jean Eustache and Bruno. Jean was one of my favorite fellow directors. He died unfortunately very prematurely. Made a handful of great films in the early 70s in France. The most important one being The Mother and the Whore, La Maman et la Putain. He was one of the many directors appearing on the film. There was a little extra scene with him and Bruno planned when they were leaving the little Arab bar here together. In the doctor's little tiny Renault. We were able to shoot them leaving in the little car, but the dialogue we had in the car, we had to scratch it because it was too late. I love this car. This funny front opening doors. The little Renault four-door car after all. I had a car like this appear in Wings of Desire. Anyway, the dialogue between Eustache and Bruno was never shot. We were just running out of time that day. That scene here was after Bruno's return from Paris. Train station in Hamburg.
Monsieur Duplat. 97,000 marks on the Swiss bank. Safe, but not easy.
Preceding an encounter that is in the film of the two of them standing by the river Elbe. There you see Robbie on the suitcase here, my cameraman, and the guy trying to get a ticket for Frankfurt in the back, that is myself. You see, Minot wasn't such a bad character after all. Yeah, they were waiting for Zimmerman to leave. Half my crew is in this shot there. In the background you see Mike, my production manager. And you still see my arm there on the right side. This was Bruno's departure for Paris. That's my second assistant there.
Thank you.
The guy waiting on the suitcase is Robin Miller again. Didn't I have a fancy golden Halliburton at the time?
Sie sehen es mir vielleicht nicht an, aber in mir ist was, das schiebt mich durch dick und dünn.
Marianne rehearsing her lines from the Marie-Louise Fleisser play, The Pioneers of Ingolstadt.
Brauchen nur noch den Bruder nicht durchziehen. Sie sehen es mir vielleicht nicht.
This scene would have intercut the train ride, the murderous train ride, but we decided not to intercut it. Yeah, it was a beautiful shot out of the apartment onto the harbor. In the film, you see the little guy a little later in the story, when Jonathan has come home, and you see that he's already all red because he's been in the bathtub for half an hour or an hour already.
Ich habe den Zug genannt.
Ich denke, du bist geflogen.
Yeah. Jonathan was just about to confess what happened in the train.
Ich bin so erschöpft.
But then he didn't do it.
Mir geht's nicht gut.
Warum unternimmst du dann solche Reisen? Sonst hieß es doch auch, du sollst dich schonen.
Ja.
From here on, when he joins the little boy in the bathroom, it is in the film. Dennis taking pictures of himself is, of course, in the film. The moment before, standing outside with a river in the background, was not. We didn't use this establishing shot in the Christmassy bar scene. Although it was really extremely well lit and beautiful.
Frau Perushka, why don't you take the afternoon off?
Yeah, whenever Dennis's housekeeper appeared, she sent her out. We eliminated her altogether. Yeah, some more of that red color. Of course, the electrician was our real electrician.
Mhm. Er hat mir nicht die Wahrheit gesagt.
Ist auch nicht so schlimm.
Doch. Dieses Mal ist es schlimm. Ich lass dich jetzt ein bisschen allein, ja? Wenn du müde bist, gehst du ins Bett.
Mhm.
Wenn irgendwas los ist, gehst du zu der Frau vom Hotel, ja?
Marianne had taken the little boy away and they had stayed in a hotel Bruno comes home and everything is empty. Everybody's gone. But we didn't show that Marianne was staying with a boy in a hotel room. This was preceding the moment when she comes into the open frame store that's not been locked late in the evening, before she then on her own joins Jonathan at Ripley's house. With a little guy just alone in the hotel room. With his beloved lamp, with a steam train, which we've seen several times next to his bed whenever his dad says goodnight to him.
Lässt du den Kopf so und sagst immer nach oben hin?
Lass mich so allein sein.
I don't want to be so alone, he says. And you heard my direction before.
I want to keep her out of this.
The dialogue with Bruno and Dennis is also cut out. This is just before they arrive at Dennis's house. Right now, you just see the car pull into the house.
Yes.
This is the elevator that takes cars down to pass under the harbor and the River Elbe. The road you've seen under the river, you've seen several times in the film. This is where Bruno runs to his doctor repeatedly. Now you see Marianne take it with her red Volkswagen. It's a moment between Dennis and Nicholas Ray. Sound got lost, I'm sorry to say. West Side Highway is long gone. There in the background you see the Statue of Liberty and of course the Twin Towers. A similar shot became the last shot of the film. Nicholas Ray writing and drawing.